Welcome to History According to Bob. Today's enhanced podcast is about the Jesse James farm and home located in Kearney, Missouri, or Kearney, which is on I-35 north of Liberty, which is to the northeast of Kansas City. Now, I was out there in the winter, so I wanted to get some pictures of it with a little snow on the ground, which worked out really well. Got just enough snow on the ground to make it look nice, but not enough to make it dangerous to drive up. Another time I will come by and do one where you can see it in the summertime. Now this is the little visitor center, and although when you drive up it's not very impressive, let me tell you what, they have a collection of his stuff in here that is probably as good as anybody in the Old West's collection of material. They literally have everything that was with him the day he died: his saddle, his pistol, his rifles, his shotgun. They have all kinds of things. They've got one of his coffins, and they've got there's a bullet that fell out of his rotted body that's on display. They have the original picture that he was the little thing he was moving on the wall when he was shot in the back. So it's all there. Unfortunately, they are extremely tight with their security on taking pictures, so he was unable to take pictures of that. They have quite a significant amount of stuff in there to see. The guided tour, there's a little video, and then there's a little guided tour. It probably takes 45 minutes to an hour. And of course, this is walking towards the James home. Now, this is where his mother and father, Jesse James' mother and father, lived. And then later on, his brother then took over the site. And these people have been making money at the James farm on the fame of Jesse James for quite some time. But it's a beautiful setting. As you get a little closer to it, they had slaves, and they have reconstructed the slave quarters on this particular place. It also has a really nice stream that flows along, and this is the view of the front of the house. Again, they are very restrictive on taking pictures inside the house because a lot of the original furniture is there, and all sorts of other things. But they have maintained the exterior, and you can see all sorts of different things, the grave, and it's really, really quite good. And we had a teenager guide who was okay, but sometimes you're going to get different guides, and it'll be a little better. Now this is a view back from the front of the James home, looking towards the visitor center. But you see, there's a running stream that goes through there. And that is very significant for, of course, the farm and later on for Jesse's grave. And then this is a view of Jesse James's, at least the original grave that was there, which was positioned so that his mother could look out of her bedroom window and see it. To some extent, they were afraid people were going to dig it up and do other things, but we'll see that. A little closer view of that a little bit later on. Now this is a side view of the house, and you can see that it's the original log cabin and how they built over it and added on to it later on. Now Mrs. James used to charge a quarter to 50 cents to visit the site, and then she did some other things. And then later on, Jesse's brother charged 50 cents to $1 for the tour. So that's quite significant. Here's a little closer view of it. And when you go inside, they have the original fireplace, and they have furniture, and it's really a really nice home. Of course, these log cabin things are really, really strong, and they're quite significant. Of course, the James house was indeed raided by the people from Kansas and others over the years. And this is Jesse's grave. Now, of course, if you go in the Kearney, Missouri, at the main cemetery there is what's supposed to be his regular grave. Now, if you go into the visitor center, they have the various tombstones that have been there because people over the years have chipped away at them for souvenirs. Now, one of the things that Mrs. James did, and it's still done today, you can't see it very well here, but the grave is covered with pebbles from the stream. And when Mrs. James gave tours, people wanted to take a pebble off of his grave as a souvenir. and she would, that's but she charged him a quarter a stone to take those. Okay, then of course after everybody left, she just simply walked back down to the stream and get another bucket load of them and fill it up. Now, today, you can still go to the visitor center and they will sell you rocks that were on Jesse's grave, but they don't come from the stream. They buy them from somewhere else. They're put in a plastic bag. They just kind of drop the plastic bags on the grave and then pick it up. So they're really not the ones right that you see there, and then they sell those. And I've forgotten what they charged. It was relatively cheap, but once you find out what it is, it's really not worth it. But that's they knew how to make money off of Jesse. The only other example that I have of this is one of Pancho Villa's last wives. She kept his pistol. And people would come by and visit the home, and they would see this pistol, and every so often some guy would say, "I really would love to buy that pistol," and she'd go, "Oh, it's all I have of Pancho. I need to keep it." But then they would offer enough money that she would sell the pistol. And of course, the same thing that Mrs. James did. After the guy or his group rode off, she went down to the local gunsmith and simply bought another exact copy of the one that she had sold, which was only a copy in the beginning of Pancho's really regular pistol. Then this is a look at the slave quarters. They have one of the slave quarters there on the site. They have all sorts of other things as well. There's some cattle that run on the place, so it's significant. And then this is the view from the slave quarters, looking back down towards the family site. So it's a significant property. And then this last picture shows the stream, and it's really beautiful. They have a couple of places where you can view it very well, and of course you can sit and relax. In the summer it's a little more relaxing, but at least in the winter you can actually see it. So if you're in the Kansas City area and you've always thought about visiting Jesse James's farm, it is without a doubt, it's worth the price to see all of his stuff in the visitor center. And by the way, they have it in a gigantic bank vault, which I find humorous, since that's one of Jesse James's specialties, is bank robbing. But so I hope you enjoyed that. And as always, don't forget to come by the website, summahistorica.com or historyaccordingtobob.com, and ask a question, leave a comment, and then I have a whole series of CDs of topics that I've talked about before. So, thank you very much.